Everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul Nguma, founder of PATTERNOLOGY LAB. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a stock that looks like it wants to go parabolic next week, and why I think you should definitely keep it on your watch list next week. Also, I'm going to be answering some of you guys' questions for those of you who dropped your stocks of interest in last night's video. All right. So without further ado, let's get started with that stock. And that stock is Billy. Yep. That stock is Billy. And the reason why I say that, okay, the reason why I say so is because of the daily chart. Let's look at the daily chart right now. On the chart right over here, I see let me just open that up really quick. I see a piercing candle right there. Okay, a piercing candle. For those of you who've been watching the channel, and for those of you beginners out there, I did explain what a piercing candle is. All right, it looks exactly like this, followed by a green candle. And what happened on Friday is that it pushed upwards. Now, the one thing that you'll want to keep in mind is that there are early short sellers who got in at the top right here, right in this region, okay? And right now, they're all getting squeezed. All of them are getting squeezed, and they're not very happy right now, especially the ones who probably weren't watching the market, who are like hoping that the stock opens up lower and tanks on Monday. Those individuals, they're watching it for the stock to tank. And if it doesn't tank, they will cover up. And when they cover up, stocks tend to spike. Now, the other reason why I say that short sellers got in here is because if you just zoom out and you look at the chart right now, it went up. It went from what, $9? That was in 2019, 2020, and then this is 2020. Yeah, so in 2020, since the last crash in March, it went from $19 all the way up to $64, which is a reasonable reason for shorts to try to take a stab at it. But it looks like it's backfiring, and it looks like it wants to squeeze shorts even more. And where do I see this thing going? Honestly, I would love to see this thing at anywhere between like at $75 next week. And they could even go a bit more parabolic and go all the way up to $85 to $90 very soon. And personally, that's where I would actually want to like go in for a short, just to see. That is why I will be very tempted to short it back down. And honestly, the higher it goes, the better it looks for me, because things don't these runs right here, they're great. You can catch them on the long side, but at some point this starts to weaken, and then they end up crumbling, kind of like what we've seen with Neo like 2 weeks ago. So yeah, keep that one on your watch list for next week on Monday. It would be very interesting to see how it opens. Short squeeze may be incoming. All right, now for all of you who've been asking about some stocks, the first one that we're going to go over, let me just pull. Okay, the first one that we're going to go over is Chewy. And Chewy, somebody asked about Chewy. I like Chewy because it's retesting a level of support. It's retesting that level. But at the same time, I don't like Chewy because earnings is on what? When is that? Earnings is on, I think this is Tuesday afternoon, the 8th. Yeah. So Tuesday afternoon, they have earnings. And again, Chewy, not a trashy company. It's a good company, right? If you look at their growth, it's very steady, and this is a growth stock. Long-term investors love this, right? I have nothing bad to say about the company at all. It looks like it's on a nice trajectory all the way up here, right? Very nice trajectory. Okay, I'm not bearish on it in the in the long term for sure. Now, the one thing that worries though, for again, since here we focus heavily on the short term gains, right? So they have earnings, and they could have like phenomenal numbers. They could, but the reaction to it may be the opposite of what you would expect. So if you're really tempted to go in through earnings with like calls, all I can say is be very careful and be don't be too aggressive with this. Like don't YOLO calls or YOLO puts, not recommended. If you're gonna do that, just go in small, okay? Because if it doesn't turn out the way you expected, you can get destroyed. So that is my very honest opinion on it. If it does great, honestly, this thing could spike all the way up. It can open up at like $82 on Tuesday, right? And then just keep running all the way up. But if it doesn't, it can drop all the way down to 63 and then stay down here for a very long time. Just like Domino's Pizza. Domino's Pizza had earnings. Y'all know Domino's Pizza. You probably ate that probably last week. Domino's Pizza, they had great earnings, and yet it got crushed. Okay, and then it stayed down, and now it's just down. It's not going anywhere, which is kind of sad and really really boring. The only people who are winning here are individuals who probably have like iron condors set up, and they're banking from the stock staying in this level right here. Okay, like these are the only ones who are winning. Everybody else is just getting crushed. So it's really really sad. So you just keep that in mind as you are looking at Chewy. Because honestly, I don't know what's going to happen. It's earnings. It's a 50-50 coin toss. And all I can say is just be careful with it, okay? Now, let's talk about a stock that I've been asking for a while now. Let's talk about Pinterest, okay? And Pinterest had a nice run over here. It did disappoint and didn't go to $80, which I would have loved. But the one thing that I don't like about the stock is this combination of candles right here, right there. And I'm gonna show you why exactly. This combination of candles, very it's kind of bearish. It's given the fact that it had a massive run. All right, it had a massive run, and now it's forming this. And the reason why I want to point this out specifically to all of you, right, is because I took a trade on Gilead. It was more like a day trade, and I sold it for the exact same reason. And the reason why I sold it is over here. Let me show you guys this. All right, let me just show you guys this one. And if we zoom in, I sold it right in here. Okay, right after that one showed up. And it's gonna looking like the same scenario with Pinterest on the daily chart. Again, if you just zoom in right here, kind of look like the same way. So personally, I don't like it the way it is now. If it opens up higher and then just breaks through this high with a lot of volume, then great, right? That's excellent news for the longs. But if it doesn't and it shows this gravestone doji like you see on this one right here, if it shows a gravestone doji like that, you should be worried and you should be considering a short. Okay, it might be good for a short. So that is my very honest opinion on Pinterest. For those of you who have been asking about that one. Now the next stock that we're going to be talking about is GoPro. And GoPro wants to squeeze shorts. It does want to squeeze shorts. So there's two potential stocks that could go parabolic next week. The first one is Billy. The second one is GoPro. And that one, honestly, I do see it at around like $10 very soon. I would love to see it at $10. It's looking pretty good. The volume is increasing steadily. And short sellers in these regions are getting very antsy and very worried, which is a good sign for the longs, and it encourages them to keep holding. So definitely keep that one on your watch list for a potential long to the upside. It's been crushed. GoPro has been demolished for a while now. But looking at it, even on the weekly chart, this is not something that personally, me as a short seller, I would not short this thing. I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. I really wouldn't. So watch this thing for a long, okay? Watch it for a potential long for next week. All right, we got time for one more. The next stock that we're going to be looking at is APXT. Now, this one, again, these what is it? These SPAC stocks, right? These ones, these companies. The one thing that I don't like about this one specifically is that it doesn't have options. We like options, okay? options are great. Options make your account multiply by factors of 2, 3, 10, 20, 30, 100, right? Options are phenomenal. Stocks like this, like I don't personally, I don't trade shares because making dollars per share is just not it's not very appealing to me. I like to multiply my accounts in a very short amount of time. And again, that's just my personal preference. If you are a long-term investor and you have any information on this thing, it was a nice dip buy over here, right? A nice dip buy over here. And honestly, if we change this thing to the, let's do 30. Yeah, if we change it to the 30, right? It looks like it's on a nice uptrend. And again, the only thing you can do with this is hold shares. I'm not bearish on this yet. It looks like buyers are stepping in. The stock is consolidating, and the more it consolidates, the more these short sellers get freak out. And then when they freak out, they start covering and covering, and the stock slowly starts trickling up and up and up and up again until literally a lot of them get squeezed. I don't know exactly when this stock will release, like when market makers would make an option chain for the stock. If it has an option chain, I would love to trade this, okay? But it doesn't have an option chain. And for me personally, I choose options over shares any day, all the time, okay? So that's my very honest opinion on it. I'm not bearish on the stock. If you want to if you want to buy shares, again, do what you want to do. Personally, it doesn't have options, so I'm not into it. And that is my very honest opinion about APXT. And the other one is ENAC, I think. Yeah, the other one, this one also does not have an option chain. When they do, I will keep it in my watch list. I will watch it a little closer, but it just doesn't, and it's just not appealing to me. So yeah, again, if you got value from the video, definitely destroy the like button for the YouTube algorithm. As always, if you are new to the channel, definitely click on subscribe and click on the notification bell. That way you get notified whenever I release these post-market analysis videos, which are released every single day in the afternoon, and the pre-market analysis videos, which are released from Monday through Friday at exactly 8:15 a.m. Central Time, 15 minutes before the market opens. If you're not following us on social media, you can find me at Paul Nguma and at Patternology Lab on Instagram and on Twitter. Also, if you are a beginner or you've never traded stocks before or never traded options and you are interested in making some money in the stock market, I'll have some step-by-step directions in the description of the video. All right, step 1 through step 4. It only takes about 15 minutes or less to sign up with everything you need and to have access to this amazing tool called Think or Swim. It's free of charge and it's offered by TD Ameritrade. This is Think or Swim, okay? You can also get 3 free stocks after signing up with Weibo using my very first link in the description below, and 1 free stock after signing up with Robinhood using my second link in the description below as well. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Nguma with Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in tomorrow's video.